You've reached your destination.
Go! Destination Yuri, the morning programme. You're extraordinarily welcome. I'm Rowan Hand. It's my pleasure to be your host here. And Shay Daly of Warren Points with me. How are you, sir?
Good, Rowan, thanks.
Good morning to you. We catch you on one of your visits back to this area from your travels around the world. This man is a constant traveller and a man of the environment, a man who cares deeply about the well-being of the flora and fauna with which we share the planet. That's a reasonable enough way to sum it up.
Oh, well, you could do.
That would be the thing there. When you've been travelling for a while now.
Oh, yes, Ronan. Thanks for having us on the show.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
This beautiful morning.
It is good. It is good.
Yeah, a part-time traveller, should I say.
Yeah.
Can't be doing it all the time.
No, but Australia features in your itinerary.
Australia, South America, Asia, Pacific, South Pacific. I like to take a little run around and see what's happening. And I'm not into the package holiday.
No.
I like to.
You told me one day that you simply put into your bag 2 pairs of trousers, 2 shirts, and away you go. Toothbrush and toothpaste, and away you go.
Toothbrush, passport.
And gone.
Gone.
It's like a logo for a travelling man.
Yeah.
You have it.
Pretty self-sufficient when I'm on the road. We have our tents and our bags. And,
wow, really?
And eat late and keep on the move.
Would you camp in these places you go?
Pretty often. Well, you have to get out of the city, obviously, to camp, and you have to find a spot somewhere that's going to be comfortable and safe.
And safe is important. On your travel, Shay, is it your observation that the world is an unsafe place these days?
Actually, the complete opposite, Ronan. I think it's nowhere near as bad as the people make out to be, and I think there's far more nicer people and generous people and friendlier people in the world than I do read in the front of the newspapers or listen to on the news headlines. And, I've come across very little badness or nastiness. It's mostly generosity and as I say, it's mostly caring and giving and guiding.
Yeah, Shay, what a lovely phrase, caring and giving and guiding. That should be the motto for humanity.
Well, unfortunately, it is out there. It is out there. As I say, there's a lot of people. I say caring's in our gene anyway. We want to help people if we can help. We want to help the nature if we can help her. It's better to help than just walk on by. And even though, as I say, there's a lot of fear factors out there in the world, but once you go and you arrive, you'll meet people that's willing to, total strangers, to help you, guide you, give you directions. Take you in for the night, take you in for a few nights.
I heard a lovely story, Adrian Horsman. Adrian works with Christian Aid.
Right.
And he worked with me in the BBC.
Right.
He was one of my reporters there,
yes.
20 more years ago now. But he went off to cycle down Africa,
yes.
all the way from north to south. And he was in some particular part, I think it was Algeria, he was ever at Christmas time, Christmas Eve. He was feeling a bit lonely. And he was crossing the square close to midnight. And he saw a couple of shadows over at the far end of the square. And the little red glow of somebody's cigarette. And he walked on, was pushing on. And as he passed by in the darkness, he heard the voice say, Bon Noel, Happy Christmas.
There you go.
And he said it was a most warming experience. And they're then guided to a place where he could stay the night.
Yes.
So that's exactly what you're saying.
Exactly.
You meet these people.
You don't meet them till you go out. You put yourself out there, Ronan, and they just appear. I don't know where they come from. My mother says they're McGeorgian angels.
Well, sure, maybe they are too.
You know,
she could be right. The desire to travel and to see the world. Where did that all start for you, Shay?
It happened by chance, Ronan. It just happened by chance.
And what was that chance? How did it happen?
A phone call from my brother.
Yeah.
I would put it down to when I was 18 years of age. You know the situation here in Ireland at the time, 1992, 93.
Yeah.
I think my parents didn't want me around Warren Point or the area or whatever, so we got an invite to Australia for my first time going away. and ended up out there for a year with my brother.
My goodness.
And working, and it was just a complete culture shock at all, altogether, and pretty exciting and pretty new, and meeting people from all around the world, and heard stories about so many different places then, and different Bali and Fiji and different names mentioned
So
I'd never heard before. And
all the box were being suddenly ticked, and you were saying, must go here.
what's this, something
Yeah.
to chase, and of course when you get to one place you have to move on to the next, and you know, and find another place. And you
The
know,
thing about Australia that you mentioned there, everyone, with the exception of the Aboriginal people, everyone has gone to Australia. It's a land that has accepted people in, and they've stayed.
Yes.
And that's what you discovered, that you were one of that horde of people from all across the world who went there. And the effect of Australia on you when you first saw it, Warren Point today, Australia tomorrow. What was the wow factor?
Well, there was a whole load of them, even the wildlife, the mass, the place, the size of it, the beaches, the oceans, the whales, the nature, the sounds,
My
the
goodness.
colours. There were so many amazing, and the people as well. A lot of the time, it's the people that make a place.
Yeah.
There was a lot of learning things for me in Australia, even the train networks, the bus networks, things I hadn't used before when I was here, 18,
Yeah.
19. And just the working for myself and supporting myself.
Yeah. The work you do is what?
I'm a decorator by trade.
A decorator.
Painter and decorator.
And did you find that the world out there needed a painter and decorator?
Well, very much so.
It's lovely stuff.
Very much so. It was one of the trades that I have to thank my father for forcing me into. My father used to say to me, get a trade, get a trade, get a trade. But sure, I never knew what he meant.
Aye.
Till now. When I went to Australia with the painting trade, it was something that you could do anywhere, you know.
Yes,
you
of
could,
course.
You could. Everybody always
You learn a
needed,
bob or two.
Oh, everyone always needed a bit of painting done, and as I say, you can do it anywhere in the world. It's the same as here, it's the same as there.
And
it was something.
you're still travelling, yeah, and you're taking a wee break now.
Well, I come home there. A few things took us home for the last year, family things and what have you. And happy enough at home. Always had love for home, and always a love for the country and the land and the people. And I have to say, one of the things about being Irish, Ronan, is you can go anywhere in the world with it. It's like having a degree.
You're welcome.
You're welcome straight away, like,
Yeah,
with all
Irish.
sorts of people.
It's funny that, isn't it?
And like, you can walk into a place with your accent and with your talk, and people's faces light up, and it's you know, you can go anywhere with it. And so I'm always glad to come home.
Well, you came home, and some of the natural world that you've observed since coming home has displeased you. Things you've seen.
A little bit disappointed in the way things are going at home here, especially around Carlingford Loch, in the water and the ocean and in the sea and the environment. Ronan, I had walked the whole of the loch in a previous down the years, and I decided to do it again with the new Omeath to Carlingford walkway opening up. I was coming back from Carlingford, and I walked on up in Omeath, and I decided to walk on around there and up by Victoria Loch. Across up to the river and down the rampart and down the coastline to Narrow Water. And I had to take my dog off the walk. I had to take my dog off the walk because of there was a lot of things on the coastline. There was glass, there was dead animals, there was medication, there was plastic, there was rubbish, there was oil. There was a lot of bad stuff happening up along the back end of the loch. And I was really disappointed with it, and I had to take my dog off, as I say, and I contacted the local authorities.
But I mean, how long was this recently?
Well, 9 months ago, it all started off for me. I always, rubbish and litter and pollution was always a concern of mine, as I say, I found along the way. And I just noticed it wasn't getting no attention from anybody.
And it's as recent as 9 months ago.
As recent as 9 months.
So,
This is when I went on the walk and discovered that it had got worse
from the last time.
From the previous time I had been there.
Well, you see, I'm going to tell you and share with you, 30 years ago, John Donnelly and I would have done the same walk.
Right.
And it was stinking then.
Well, there you go.
And it's stinking now.
Yeah. Well, there you go. And the worst thing about it is, we just seemed to walk past it.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of in the main say, if you walk on past it, you're guilty of it.
Yes, of course.
You can say something, or you can do something, or you can, you know.
So you approach the authorities, council.
Approach the lock agency, the environmental agency, the council, asking for their support.
So they said, yes, we will support you.
Not at first. Not at first. No, there was a few, yeah, it's bad, yeah. And we'll get something sorted and we'll get it done, and yeah. And 1 week went on, 2 weeks went on, 3 weeks went on, 4 weeks went on. Nothing happened, it was still there. We started doing a little beach clean, myself and a few friends, just a 2-minute beach clean. Go down and doing a little bit, 2 minutes a day, 2 minutes a day, lifting up a little bit of it, taking a bit here, bagging it, recycling it. But we weren't making much of a difference, so we decided to put the complaints in writing and emails and make it official.
Yeah.
And then we started getting a little bit of comeback.
Yeah.
A little bit of interest.
So where are they now? Because presumably, if a council van was down there with a squad of men, it would make a big difference in a day.
They would make a big difference in a day. A couple of men, and they have been down and they have been doing their part. But it's the constant awareness of it, Ronan. You can go down and pick up something one day and there'll be something back the next day.
Because that's the nature of the tide. It comes and it goes, it brings things in, it brings things out.
So what we're looking to do is to get like-minded people from Omeath, Carlingford, Rostraver, Cologne, Warrenpoint, Newry, Greenora, Cranfield, the whole loch, and unite the loch, and get us all watching the loch, and watch the problems off the loch, and help the loch, and we're looking to maintain the loch and pick up as we see.
Yeah.
If we see something there, it's our responsibility to pick it up and clean it up or get it
That's
fixed.
a lovely concept.
Instead of leaving it to somebody else, because it's obvious that the nature's in trouble down there. It's an awful waste of a loch.
Yeah.
For me, waste in the loch, and it's an awful waste of a loch. And we just don't look after our number one asset in this area, and it's sad to see it slipping.
You've brought your campaign to Facebook, the social media.
Well, this is the thing. I never was on Facebook before. I never was a big lover of Facebook, and we're using Facebook to carry the social media thing and to get the word out.
It's working for you.
Really and truly, from someone that never looked at Facebook at all till someone that had bang Facebook, it's in my face. Every morning probably, I have to check it out.
Checking what's happening.
Check it out. Thank God of a few good people working with us, very good people. You met a few of the folks that day.
I did.
And they're all up to date in the Facebook world and the internet world, something which I have to say lacking in a little bit.
Which will all come in its own time.
Well, it's all new and it's all interesting. As I say, it's all new and it's an experience. So we're hoping to get enough people on Facebook so that we can show our support and show the before and after and what we're doing and what we mean. And as I say, the loch's for all of us.
Yeah.
Not just for some of us.
Yeah, and we're being, council involvement in the canal and the walkway from Newry down to the Victoria Loch, and they've done wonderful things with the ship canal.
Great.
Totally supportive of the canal from Newry all the way through to the edge of our area out towards Portadown, and constantly supportive of the Newry maritime people.
Yes.
So there is a willingness on the part of council to be doing good things.
There is. I think they just have to the council don't see the benefits, I think, in tourism and the long project of it. They're just, if they have a look at that loch, and as I say, have people coming into that loch with the canal, with hopefully a greenway up in front of the quays, the walk to Meath, follow on down into Warren Point, Straver, Cologne, and the council, the people would just come in their droves.
Well, it's a simple enough thing to imagine. A walkway all the way, some of it will be easier done than others, all the way around the loch, where people and families can go out of an afternoon and go strolling.
You can have a walk, you know. And
absolutely. And even now, it's developing to the extent that from Newry Albert Basin down to the Victoria Loch, and then that's almost possible. It's heading in that direction.
It's going that way. It's going that way, and it's a great start, and it's great to see it. And we have to say credit to the communities in Omeath, Carlingford, who are way ahead, Greenore, in their tidy towns, and their litter picking, and their green environment, and just their community base.
Absolutely.
They are a credit to our North Louth about how they work together and how they get the people out. And we're looking to learn off Louth, Omeath, Carlingford, and take them people to Warren Point and Straver and Cologne, and mix it up and get us all. As I say, we can all have our own, you know, big loch, and as I say,
you know, it will be good. And how's the dog?
Oh, the dog's doing all right. He's out in the van waiting for us. So
and it's one you found.
He's out in the van waiting. Yeah,
you found him.
Found him 9 years ago last week.
My goodness.
Found him 9 years ago, and he's still with us.
And what do you do with him when you go off on your travels?
Oh, when he sees the bag coming, his face, he knows. When he sees the bag coming out, he doesn't like it. He knows.
You leave him at home?
Well, he stays in the house. He stays in the house. And as I say, whoever's in the house, staying in the house, looks after him and walks him. I have a good family there. I have plenty of good nieces and nephews. And
you are good people.
Good friends who'll walk him and take him. And he does, but pretty spoilt now. Even the neighbours are great to him. As I say, he's taking no hurt, like he's taking. He's better. He says he gets better fed than me sometimes.
Shay, how do people contact the pair of you if they want to be helpful?
Well, we're on a little Facebook page there. It's Love Your Loch, and it's easy enough.
That's LOUGH.
Yeah.
Love Your Loch.
Yeah, it's a little Facebook page there, and as I say, you can go in, you can see what we're up to. There's a little bit of the nature, a little bit of the good stuff, the bad stuff. We're mixing it up about the benefits of the loch and the nice parts, and plus the not so nice part. And we're as I say, we're just looking people to come together and join us and stand strong in protecting the loch, looking after the loch, and marketing the loch as a Carlingford loch, not just Warren Point or not just Straver, not just Omeath, but it's take it in and look after it, help protect it, and
the wildlife that lives there.
The wildlife's very important. Like as I say, there's you can see it struggling at the minute, and there is patches of oil wash up on the loch on a regular basis, and people in Kinkeil and Ballymorton are looking for volunteers to help clean oil off boards, and and it just needs attention and a bit of love. So
we wish you well. We hope you get all the love in the world for your loch. Carlingford Loch forever. Shay Daly of Warren Point. Travel well.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you very much.